Hello, hello. I'm Russ Milheim from The Direct. Thank you guys for talking with me today about the show.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Uh, Of course, one of the biggest things that I think of, when I was watching the show, is that it's like a more historically accurate Game of Thrones. How do you feel about that comparison? And was that ever, in front of your mind while working on it?
Well, Game of Thrones is one of the greatest shows ever, so that is a great comparison. And like you said, this is more rooted in sort of reality and history. It's not a fairy tale. There's no magic, and we're dealing with a society that was there 2,000 years ago, and we're diving into the underbelly of Rome, which is to me really exciting and interesting.
Yeah, I mean, for me, whenever I hear someone mention the Game of Thrones, for example, I kind of get a bit awkwardish because I'm like, Game of Thrones is such a huge show to kind of be in comparisons with. But with our show, it's of course, Game of Thrones has dragons and stuff, and if you believe in dragons, you believe in dragons. But the story that we're kind of telling, in those about to die, are kind of like true stories and how things did run in the underbelly and behind the scenes of Rome, which people can, grasp onto a bit more than Game of Thrones because it's like, oh, what this is actually what really happened. And it kind of makes sense because it's also what we do today. So we have that kind of connection in both type of times.
Now, you two have a good chunk of time in like gladiator fight sequences throughout the show. Can you talk about bringing those to life?
A lot of training, a lot of training in the with the stunt guys that are so good at what they do, and it's all choreography, so you have to sort of condition your body, learn the movements, and yeah, it was a great time we had with those guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one thing that I do want like the viewers to understand when they do watch this is not to think that, we, had like stunt men that kind of did our action sequences for us. Roland actually doesn't like doubles, and he actually likes his actors to be the ones that actually doing the action sequences, even when it comes to rehearsals, because it just gives him a better understanding and how he wants things to be filmed. So it was a lot of work physically, but also just preparation, as Johannes said, we a lot of preparation, and we hope that it kind of comes across on the show.
It's definitely a good time.
Yeah.
We've
Now,
we're just running around and
Mo, I want to ask you a really quick, unrelated question, because I needed to ask about Ted Lasso. Fans are still hopeful that a season four might still happen one day. Have you heard anything about potentially going back?
I mean, I've heard so many things at this point in time. I don't even know what to believe. There's a chance that I'm asking you, Ross, if you know what's going on. Yeah, you
I think
know,
it's going to be in 10 years. You know how they're revisiting stuff from like 20 years ago. I think we will get another season of Ted Lasso if I'm allowed to weigh in here, because I would love to.
You
But
you
I think
are absolutely allowed to.
it's going to be a few years, but I think we'll get it.
I would definitely say I don't think this is the end of Ted Lasso, but it could be in 20 years' time that we
But
come
that's
back.
true. Just
Pardon?
to pull back to the show, if you could please say what the most unexpected challenge you guys came across in this show.
I mean, for me, the unexpected challenge was that I actually thought Johannes was going to be younger.
What? The unexpected challenge for me was being friends with Mo. It's just such a stretch. Like it never happened in real life. It's just weird.
I mean, on the show there was to be honest, there was no unexpected challenge. We knew it was going to be a challenge from the get-go. We knew what the scenes were. We knew the director that we're working with. We knew it was going to be a massive production. So we knew the challenges were definitely going to be there. Um, I wouldn't, for myself, I wouldn't say there was any surprises. I knew it was going to be difficult. I knew it was going to be challenging. But at the same time, I knew it was going to be exciting. This is kind of everything that you kind of want in a role. And
I mean,
you
the
know,
unexpected part now is looking at the results and looking how beautiful and cinematic the whole show is, and that's the unexpected part.
yeah, yeah.
We knew it'd be, you want it to be great, but seeing it, it's great.